Franklin D. Roosevelt (FDR) was the 32nd President of the United States, serving from 1933 until his death in 1945. He was born on January 30, 1882, into a wealthy family in Hyde Park, New York. Roosevelt is best known for his leadership during two of the most pivotal events in U.S. history, the Great Depression and World War II. FDR was diagnosed with polio in 1921, which left him paralyzed from the waist down, but he overcame this challenge to become one of America's most influential presidents. He was first elected president in 1932, during the height of the Great Depression, and he implemented a series of bold economic and social reforms known as the New Deal. These programs aimed to provide relief to the unemployed, promote economic recovery, and reform financial systems to prevent future collapses. His New Deal policies expanded the role of the federal government in the economy and helped to reshape American society. During World War II, Roosevelt led the U.S. through much of the conflict, working closely with Allied leaders such as Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin. Under his leadership, the U.S. transitioned from a neutral stance to becoming the arsenal of democracy, providing crucial military and economic support to the Allies. Roosevelt's decision to enter the war after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 marked a turning point in global history. FDR was elected to an unprecedented 4 terms in office, and he served more than 12 years, the longest tenure of any U.S. president. His leadership during both the Great Depression and World War II has left a lasting legacy, with many of his policies and institutions such as Social Security and the Securities and Exchange Commission remaining integral to American life. He passed away on April 12, 1945, while still in office, just as World War II was nearing its end. Franklin D. Roosevelt's presidency was marked by his ability to navigate the country through multiple crises, demonstrating extraordinary resilience and leadership. His approach to governance was transformative, reshaping the U.S. federal government and its relationship to its citizens. Early life and career. Born to a prominent family, Roosevelt was educated at Harvard University and later attended Columbia Law School. Although he did not finish his law degree, his early political career began when he was elected to the New York State Senate in 1910. In 1920, he was chosen as the Democratic vice presidential candidate, but his ticket lost the election after contracting polio in 1921, which left him unable to walk. Roosevelt retreated from the public eye for several years. Despite the physical challenges, he continued to maintain a political presence and, in 1928, was elected governor of New York. As governor, Roosevelt developed a reputation for bold and progressive policies, which helped him gain national prominence. The New Deal. When Roosevelt took office as president in 1933, the U.S. was in the midst of the Great Depression, with widespread unemployment, bank failures, and poverty. Roosevelt's response was the New Deal, a series of programs, public works projects, financial reforms, and regulations aimed at reviving the economy and alleviating suffering. Key components of the New Deal included the Social Security Act 1935, created a system of old age pensions, unemployment insurance, and welfare benefits for vulnerable populations. The Civilian Conservation Corps (CCC) created jobs for young unemployed men in environmental conservation projects. The Public Works Administration (PWA) and Works Progress Administration (WPA), massive infrastructure projects that employed millions and built roads, schools, bridges, and other public buildings. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation (FDIC) insured deposits in banks to prevent bank runs and protect depositors. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) created to regulate the stock market and prevent the type of speculative practices that led to the 1929 crash. These initiatives were instrumental in stabilizing the U.S. economy. Though the full recovery took years, Roosevelt's programs also expanded the social safety net and altered the role of the federal government in Americans' daily lives, creating a foundation for future social welfare policies. Leadership during World War II. Roosevelt's second term was dominated by the escalating crisis in Europe and Asia. He initially maintained a policy of neutrality, though he provided material support to Britain and China through programs like Lend-Lease, which allowed the U.S. to send arms and supplies to allied nations. In December 1941, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor pushed the U.S. into World War II. Roosevelt's leadership during the war was instrumental in turning the tide against the Axis powers. He worked closely with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, forming the Grand Alliance that ultimately defeated Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Imperial Japan. Some of Roosevelt's significant wartime decisions included the formation of the United Nations UN. He was a key architect of the idea of an international organization to promote peace and prevent future global conflicts. The development of the atomic bomb. Roosevelt approved the secret Manhattan Project, which developed the first nuclear weapons, although he did not live to see their use. The D-Day invasion. 1944. Roosevelt supported the massive Allied invasion of Normandy, France, which helped lead to the liberation of Western Europe. FDR's leadership style during the war was pragmatic and focused on forging strong alliances, securing vital military victories, and preparing the U.S. for a post-war world. Domestic and international legacy. Roosevelt's presidency fundamentally transformed the U.S. and its role in the world. Domestically, the New Deal changed how Americans viewed their relationship with the government, with a greater expectation of government intervention in economic and social affairs. Roosevelt's economic policies established the groundwork for the welfare state and contributed to the establishment of major government institutions like Social Security, unemployment insurance, and federally funded infrastructure programs. Internationally, Roosevelt helped to shape the post-war world order. He was instrumental in laying the groundwork for the United Nations, a global organization designed to prevent wars and promote cooperation between nations. His leadership of the Allied war effort also set the U.S. on a path to becoming the world's preeminent military and economic superpower in the post-war era. FDR's ability to communicate with the American public was another cornerstone of his legacy. His fireside chats, a series of radio addresses, allowed him to speak directly to citizens in a reassuring and empathetic manner, fostering a sense of connection and confidence in a time of crisis. Health and legacy. Despite the challenges posed by his illness, Roosevelt's enduring work ethic and resilience made him a symbol of strength. His physical limitations were kept largely private, and he continued to work long hours and travel across the country and world throughout his presidency. His untimely death in April 1945, just as the war in Europe was drawing to a close, marked the end of an era. Franklin D. Roosevelt left behind an indelible legacy of leadership, economic reform, and global influence. His presidency reshaped the United States, setting the stage for the mid-20th century and beyond. Roosevelt's enduring influence on American government, politics, and foreign relations continues to be felt today. In summary, Franklin D. Roosevelt's leadership during both the Great Depression and World War II made him one of the most consequential presidents in U.S. history. His ability to address the economic challenges of the Depression, his vision for an active and supportive federal government, and his pivotal role in shaping the post-war world make him a towering figure in American history. The Smallpox Memorial Hospital stands as a testament to the historical fight against one of humanity's most deadly diseases. Its legacy is tied to the broader story of public health advancements, including the development of vaccines and the global effort that led to the ultimate eradication of smallpox in 1979. The site remains a symbol of how medical science and coordinated international efforts can overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. If you like this video, please like, share and leave comments below and share your thoughts about Franklin D. Roosevelt. Thank you for watching.